Hey there, welcome to your Wild Spirit reading for the week of July 15th. I'm Lisa James, your host for this reading. And you have one major arcana out of 3 cards. And it's a biggie. So here's what I want to say first before I dive in. In my world, how I work, there are no bad cards, only information, okay? There are no bad cards, only information. What that means is any card that looks scary, some cards in the tarot look really fucking scary. I will never give you bad news ever. It's not my role to do that. I don't believe in that. That's just me personally. I know I'm like a rare person out there. I don't believe there's any bad news in the tarot because I don't predictive read, number 1. Number 2 is it's just information for you to know. In other words, if it looks scary and it's a bit ugh, that's a tough one. It just means that's information for you to know about what's going on under the surface in your unconscious, right? And as Carl Jung famously said, which I believe and try to live by, it's so hard, but I do try to live by this. What is unconscious controls us. What is remaining in our unconscious realm, our subconscious, will control us. In other words, it makes us reactive. It makes us do things we don't really understand. It makes us have a reaction where we're suddenly from 0 to rage, over something stupid, but we don't understand why we're suddenly overcome with these feelings and emotions. And so that's why it's really important that we try and get at what's going on under the surface as much as we can and bring it to the light and have an understanding of why you're reacting. Because the more you do that, the less these kind of things will have control over you, because it really does feel like you're out of control. I know you know what I'm talking about. So let's say you're in a relationship and your partner, turns down the stove when you're cooking and you suddenly go ballistic. What are you thinking? I know how to cook. What are you trying to say? And you have this complete overreaction. That is a hint, and not a very subtle hint, that you've touched on to what I call a bruise. And what a bruise is an old wound that you may not even know is there. I belong to the Team Mysterious Bruise Club, so I get bruises all over all the time. No idea where I got them from. I don't even know they're there until I bump them or I touch them. Perfect analogy for what I'm talking about. When we have a bruise that we don't know is there and someone inadvertently touches it, it hurts. We're like, ow, that hurt. I have a bruise there. Oh my God, how did I get that bruise? Well, we may not know how we got the bruise, but now we know that bruise is there. And now we can take caution around, okay, now I know that bruise is there and I know I need to move more carefully when I'm in this particular realm of area. Okay? That's why this is super important. Why am I telling you this? Because one of your cards is one of these heavy duty bad boys of the tarot. Your 3 cards, I do situation, do, don't do. So death is the situation. That's why I'm telling you. Death is the situation. Death is never literal death, by the way. Most of you know this by now. Death means deep transformational change. It means that you are smack dab in the middle of a deep change of some kind. And more often than not, it means that you are in the middle of a identity crisis, that you are deeply self-identified with something. Your ego is very attached to something in an area of your life that is threatened for some reason. So sometimes this can mean, let's say, I had a friend who was a teacher for many, many years, and then they got a chronic illness and had to go on long-term disability and were no longer allowed to teach. It was devastating. And they really had depression, struggled. It was terrible. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. There's an area of your life where you're really struggling. Now, what do you need to do? Do more of this. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is moving into action, allowing your passions to take you. So if your death process is, you know what, I have had this career for many, many years that I built over all these years, but now my heart, my passions are leading me elsewhere, but you have to let go of your attachment, your ego attachment to your previous life in order to allow your next life to happen, which is the Knight of Wands. Best thing to do in this scenario when the Knight of Wands is expressing is to get into action. Just do the thing. Do not allow yourself to overthink things to death, okay? Queen of Swords is to stop doing or no longer do, which is the Queen of Swords is she gets in her head. She gets too logical. You do not want to be logical about this. You want to follow your passions, follow your fire, follow your expansion, follow your vibrant life force. Forget about thinking your way out of it. Ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to think your way out of this one. All right. Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Do consider joining the Wild Spirit Society. New member enrollment is only open until July 31st, and then I close it till the end of the year. Would love to have you inside the membership. This coming Wednesday, July 20th, we're doing our live monthly Zoom readings where I get on live with everybody who wants to show up in the membership, and I do readings one-on-one for people. And then at the end of the month, July 27th, around the new moon, we do another Zoom gathering where I guide people through my own new moon manifestation process. And I also create a guidebook now. July 1st was the very first one with your own unique spread and some inquiring questions and some practices for you to be able to dive deeper into the theme for the month. And so at the end of every month, we get on Zoom and we share. So we'll do our new moon manifestation ritual, and we're going to share what we learned from the guidebook for this month. Not too late for you to join us. So July 31st is the end of enrollment for this period of time, and would love to have you in the Wild Spirit Society. Or if you just want a custom reading with me, one-on-one, via Zoom or in person, visit lisajamis.com. The link is below this video, and would love to do a reading for you. Would love it, love it, love it. All right, have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.